Alright, hello there. Today we are going to be working through a couple of the puzzles on a mobile puzzle game called Orixo Hex. I found it yesterday, I've been enjoying it very much. I've only gotten through the first two packs, so that's what I'm going to be walking through today. And in this video there might be a couple of times where I appear to jump around in a split second. It's going to play ads between some of the levels, and I'm going to edit those out. Okay, so the way you play this game, like there was just an ad, the way you play this game is, like it says, to fill the empty cells. You have these starter blocks that tells you how far it can go. So for example, this one can go 3, so we can fill 3. Then second level is the same. We have a 3 and another 3. You're just dragging and clicking from those starter blocks. Now here, the order does matter. So for example, here we have 4 to fill this way and 4 to fill this way. But when, say, this one can fill 3, it's going to skip over this one. So it is going to fill 1, skip 2, 3, so we can complete the level. And that's what starts getting into the puzzle aspect. So for example, here we have 2 this way, 3 this way, and 3 this way. You can undo using some buttons. So again, 2 will skip over what we've already filled in with the starter block, so it will fill in these 2. Then the 3 will fill in these 3, and we needed this one to be filled in so that the 2 can fill this in. Here, this one is pretty simple, just go down, don't go across with any of them. This one is difficult. We've got 6 here that we need to fill in. We only have a 2. And remember, you can only fill in at the angles they're at. So for example, this one, there's nothing this way, this way, this way, this way, or this way. So this has to be filled in by the 2 all the way down here. The way we beat this level is you're going to want to fill in these 1s first, so that the 2 will now skip over these 4 already filled in and fill in these last 2. Now for this 1 cannot fill in any other square or hex except for this guy. So we're going to go ahead and fill him in. Then we can see this 2 can fill in 2, this 2 can fill in these 2, and everything just falls into place. Now here, this gets tricky. This 2 can only go down, but if we go ahead and fill in those 2, then this guy can't go both up and down. If we start with him, if we go down, we can't do that. There's only 1 space, so we have to go up first, and now that allows this 2 to fill in the remaining hexes. Another ad. Okay, on this one, we again have this long straightaway that we need to get some hexes filled in so we can jump. So we're going to fill in these diagonal ones first. Now that lets us get, you can see we have 2 and 2, and here we have 1, 2, 3, 4. It does not matter the order you do this in, so I'll just do this one first, then this one. Alright, here comes a bit more of a complex one. The first thing we'll notice, we have some spots like here, we have 5 to fill in, but only a 3. And if we take a look at hexes like this one, it cannot be filled in any other way except by this 3. So we know that this 3 will have to reach this hex, but it's the 5th in a row. So we're going to need somewhere in here to fill in 2 along this row so that this 3 can reach the last one. Similarly here we have 4 in a row. So a good way I like to start these puzzles is by looking for ones where they can only go one way. So let's take this 3 in the middle. He cannot go any other direction except down, where there are 3 hexes to be filled, and this is a 3. So we can go ahead and fill them in. If this square had already been filled, let's say we went ahead and did this first, then this guy, he can't go anywhere. So we know we have to start with him before we mess around anywhere else in this area. And then, now that that one is filled in, this 3, now he can't go up, he can't go any other direction, and this way he has 3 to fill, so we need to do him next. And then we're going to make our way clockwise around. You'll see now 3 to fill in, and that's a 3, 3 to fill in, and this is a 3, and that nicely lines up. Now here our row of 5 has gone down to a row of 3, and we can complete the puzzle. Okay, so let's look at ones, like this 2. This 2 can only go here, and there are 2 to be filled in. Now you might say, now wait a second, if I fill in these 2, then this 1 has nowhere to go. Well, the 1 can go up. So we're going to fill in this 2. Now this 1 can only go up, so we'll fill him in. Now this 2, he can't go this way because there's only 1 empty spot, so he has to go this way where there are 2 empty spots. Now it looks like you can do this one of 2 ways. You could make this guy go here, this guy go here, and this one go here. Or you could make the 2 go here, then them go up and down, which is how I'll do it. All right. Let's see. Okay. So we'll notice we have a long stretch here of 4, and the only way this one can get filled is by this 2. So we're going to have to fill in 2 of these. I see we have a 1 here that we could fill one of these in. Let's start with the 3s down here. 3 cannot go any way but this, and we have 3 empty spaces. So we can go ahead and fill these guys in. Remember, they will skip over starter blocks. So now this 2 cannot go any way except this 2, where we have 2 empty spaces. So I'll go ahead and fill them in. And now this 1 will go here, and that allows our 2 to reach the end. All right. Okay, first thing I've noticed, I'm looking at the bottom here. If, say, we went ahead and filled them in like this, then this 2 has absolutely nowhere to go. So we'll notice this 2 can only go this way, and again there's 2 empty spaces, and he's a 2, so we can go ahead and fill him in confidently. Now this 2 only has 1 way to go, so we'll fill him in. This 1 can only go there, and now this 2 goes up, and these guys go down. Good stuff. Alright, looking at this one, it kind of looks like a snowflake. We see some spots like this hex. It looks like it's only going to be able to be filled by this 1, so we're going to have to fill in those 2. Same thing with this one, it's going to be able to fill in with this one. This one way out here is going to be this 4. So it looks like we're going to need to have some hexes filled in right here in the center before we do anything. Now if we go the other sort of side of the puzzle, we have a 4 here. He can only go this way, and there are 4 spots for him to fill in. If we fill in, say, this one, then he can't go there anymore and we'll be stuck. So we need to fill him in first. Now this one, this 4, has to go up. That leaves us with only 4 spots for this 4 to go into. And just like that, this 4. And now we can finally do our 1s. Oh my. This one is pretty simple. You start in the middle. You can see, if you want to go ahead and count the squares, like for example this 5 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares. So we know that we need to fill 1 in. But this 2 only has 2 squares. So we fill him in, then the 3, then the 5, and just make your way, I guess, counterclockwise around the circle. Triangle. Alright. See, we have a couple of edges, I guess. This one will be filled by this 4. Looks like we can't go any other direction with this 4, and we know this one has to be filled by it, so let's go ahead and fill that in. Now this one, on the other hand, is going to be filled by this 4, but we can't quite reach it, so let's not fill him in yet. Looks like this one will be filled by our 3, but we need another space. But our 5, this one has to be filled by our 5 because it's in line with him. And we have 5 empty spaces. We'll go ahead and fill him in. Now we have 3 spaces for our 3. And then you must notice we have 4 spots here for our 3 and 4 spots here for our 4. So we need to do the 4 first so that we get this for the 3 to jump over. So we have several lines, 2 lines of 4s here, but we have 3s instead of 4s. So that lets me know that we need one of these 4 hexes somewhere to be filled in. And this 2 can't go down, can't go this way. They can go sideways, but I'm not sure. Like, for example, if these went sideways, who's going to fill this one in? Well, it's going to be this 2. He has 2 spots, he can fill them in. There's a couple of ways to do this puzzle. This is one way, where you fill in the 2s like this and then fill in your 3s. You can also, instead of going sideways at the start, go like this, more up and down with your 2s, then your 3s just fill in a bit differently. Alright, first, you see we have 2 separate puzzles. I'm going to go ahead and do the smaller one first. This one you can do either direction. Just fill it in like that. Now here, looking at our triangle, there are actually 3 triangles. Let's look at this one. My 2 cannot fill him. My 5 cannot fill him. My 1 cannot fill him. Therefore, I need my 3 to go up. That leaves the 2 to go down. Our main problem, you'll see we have a 6 here, and we have, I believe, 8 spaces. So 2 of these, probably that one and this one, will need to be filled. I'm going to go ahead and fill some of the stuff in. We have a 5 here, and we have 5 spaces, so we can fill them in. And now we have our 2 spaces filled in. 8 minus 2 leaves 6 empty spaces for our 6, and the 2 completes the puzzle. Alright. Look at your edges. Who's going to fill this one in? It's going to have to be this 2, and he is 4 away, so we'll need a couple of those hexes filled in. Who's going to get this one? It's going to be this 2, but he'll need something to be filled in. So we know we don't want to mess with these 2 yet, because they're going to have some stuff filled in before they can help. What about this guy? He can't go up. He can go there, but we might want him to fill this in first. So we don't know. Now look at this 4. The 4 cannot go any direction except down, where he can fill in exactly 4 out of 4 spaces. So we're going to start with the bigger one, which we don't usually do. Taking a look at this, we need this 2 to be able to reach that square, but he's 3 away. This 2 isn't going anywhere except this direction, so we'll fill him in so our other 2 can reach. And now this 2 can reach his because of our 4 from earlier, and this 2 needs 2 filled in, so we'll go ahead and fill those in and complete the puzzle. Ah, yes, now I remember. Okay. So in order to reach our edges, we're going to first do this, and this. This allows our 2 to reach, and now we'll have a much easier time. You'll notice if we have this 2 reach our guy down here, then we're sort of leaving our 1 unavailable. Though actually that does work. If you do this, then this, and these ones can skip over. You can also, way back at this point, you can also have the 1 go down and cover that. This one go here, and then the 2s go a more natural way without skipping over anything. That is it for pack 1. So we'll go ahead and do some of them from pack 2. This might involve a little more guesswork because these are harder Okay. This looks like this thing is going to be a problem. We can't have both of our 2s go down because there's only 3 slots. So it looks like somehow we're going to have a diagonal come in and get one of the ones on the bottom. This 2 can't go left. It also creates the problem that if you say do this, then none of these 2s can get this one, because there's only 1 slot left. And if we do this, none of these 2s as well can reach that one in the corner. So we know that this 2 cannot go to the right to start off with. So let's have him try going that way. And now we can fill in this. Now we have 3 here and only 1 2, so we need this guy to be filled in. So we'll go ahead and fill in him, and we can reach, and the puzzle's complete. You have to be careful when you have a lot of smaller numbers. The order is very important. Here we have a larger number. We have a 5 in the middle with 6 spaces. So we're probably going to use one of these 3s to fill in. If we take a look at this 3, we'll notice he can't go down, he can't go slightly up. His only option is to go here. Same thing with this 3, he can't go any other direction except there. Now, this guy is only going to be reachable with our 2, who needs 1 hex filled in, and our 5 still needs 1 hex filled in. So we're going to do our 3 first, then our 2, then our 5. A lot of smaller numbers, be careful with your order. Take a look at your edges first. This, like say this one, he has a lot of options to go. In addition to these 3, say if I did this, now he can all of a sudden go here, and then this 2 goes there. You just start getting a lot more options. With your edges, however, this 2 only has only 1 option. He can go that way. Same thing with this 2. Now I might need him to fill in this guy, but usually they are going to be the ones you want to fill in first because they only have 1 option. Now, in order to fill in these squares, this 2 can't go down, he can't go up, he has to go this way. That leaves our 1s to fill in some of the cracks. Now, looking at the bottom, we still have a 3 up here. He will fill in that one, and maybe that one. Our question then becomes, how do we fill in, say, these remaining 4? Or if we need this 3 to come all the way down to get this one, how can we fill in this? Well, 2 only has 1 option going there. And now there's a couple of ways to do it. I'm just going to do this, and then you have to fill in this one, and the 3 picks up all the rest. Alright, let's take a look at our biggest number first, our 3. It can't go up. His only direction is here, where we have 3 slots available, so we'll go ahead and fill him in. Now looking at our edges, who's going to get this guy? It's going to have to be this 2, so we need one of these filled in. These guys can go a lot of different ways. Well, 2. So we know we need to fill in these first so that these 2 can reach over here. But we also have this. This 2 needs to go down and get this guy, or maybe this one will. It's a lot of guesswork. So again, go back to your edges. This one, he can't be gotten by this guy. He has to be gotten by this guy. So we know this 2 is going to go this way. Same thing with this one, he has to be gotten by this guy. But now, so if this 2 is going this way and this 2 is going this way, how are we getting these guys? Well, we'll need to have these 2 get them. And you might say, well, wait a second. In order for this one to get this one, you have to have one of these filled in. And in order for this one to get this one, you have to have one of these filled in. Well, we've touched on 4 of our 2's so far, but we haven't touched on this guy. He can only go down. It gives one filled in for this guy to go over, and you just go down the lattice, and they all fill in, thanks to the one right here. Alright. Our 4. Where's our 4 going to go? Oh, wait, we have a 5. Our 5 can only go one way. He has 5 empty slots. Let's fill him in. Now our 4. Our 4 can only go this way. 4 empty slots. Let's fill him in. Now it becomes a bit more guesswork. Our 1 can only go there. This one has 2 spots he can go. So this 2, if he goes here, then this 2 can't go anywhere anymore. So this 2 needs to be filled in first. So then this 2 can be filled in, and this one can be filled in. Where's our bigger numbers? We have 2 4's. Looks like the 4's are going to go crossing like this. They have 5 empty spaces. So let's not fill them in quite yet. Our 3's, we have a lot of 3's that can go up or down. But let's take a look at some of these sort of on the bottom right and top left. Who's going to fill this guy in? Well, his only neighbor is this 3. So we know the 3's are probably not going to go up and down. We're going to have to get in these guys on the side. Well, what about this 3, you say? Well, he's going to have to go up, but we might need him to get this guy. So we're going to leave him for a second. What about this man? Well, the 4 can't get to him. The 4 has to go this way. And there's no one else who can get him, so he needs that one. Same thing with this one. And this one. That leaves the 2 to go down. If the 2 went here, then the 4 couldn't go here anymore because he'd only have 3 empty slots. Now the 4 still need... This 4 doesn't. He has 4 empty slots. He's good. And that leaves the 3 and the 4. And you're done. Number 7. We again have 2 4's. This 4 is, of course, going to go this way, but it looks like he'll need 1 extra spot. This 4 can't go there, so he needs to go here, and he might need an extra spot. What I'm worried about is this guy. He is going to be filled in by this 3, but the 3 needs 2 extra spots to reach him. So we're going to leave that 3 for maybe the last one we'll fill in. This 3 looks like... See, here you have to sort of guess. Like, for example, this 3 and this 4 might both reach here. The question then becomes, should I do the 3 then the 4? Should I do maybe something like the 2, so then the 3 will reach here, so then the 4 can go further? There's nothing wrong with putting in several your options and then going, oh, I can't. In this case, we saw if we do our first 4's, we can't do the 3. So we know that the 3 is this 3 is going to be sort of at the beginning of our combination. This 3 is going to be near the end. We're not sure where the 2's go yet. Let's look at these few. These can't be gotten by the 4. They can't be gotten by any of these guys. They have to be gotten by the 2's. And the 2's are going to take quite a number of filled-in hexes. This one requires 2. This one requires 3 in order to reach way up here. So we know that this one is probably going to be last. These ones near the end. Our 3 needs maybe 1 more, and these 2 maybe need 1 more. So let's just start off. And we saw when we filled in our 2 4's to start, like so, we can no longer do our 3. So let's go ahead and start with our 3. Try our 4, try our 4. Everything looks good so far, and now we noticed we filled in 2. Our 3 is good, and our 2's are good. Alright, where's our bigger number? It's right here, it's the 4. And this square, or this hex, can only be filled in by this 4. Therefore, we're going to need to save him for a minute until we get something else filled in. In this case, it's a detached puzzle, so up here, the way you'll do this one, this 2 must go up, so this must go this way. Let's take a look at this hex. It can only be filled in by this 3, but this 3 needs another space. This 3 is going down, but how far does he need to go down? He might need to go here. And of course, if we fill in this one, then this one, it will fill in 2, leaving our 3 to go all the way down here. Or, I'm sorry, to here. These 2 are filled in like so. He will only go down to here. And in that example, we saw we can't start with this 3. He already needs 1 filled in. So let's try this 3 first. We'll fill all those in. Now our 4 can reach. Now our 2 will, of course, go across, and our 1s fill in the remains. Alright, our biggest numbers are 4 here, who might need a filled-in hex. Let's look at down here. This one is going to go with the 2, and this to the 2 as well. But it looks like they both need 1 last remaining thing. And we can tell by the way the puzzle is arranged that we can sort of leave these until we filled in the 4. I'm guessing this 2 is not going to be the one to go down. In fact, I know it, because then the 4 can no longer go down. So we know that the 2 will go either here or here, and we know that when we fill in our 4, it's going to reach here, and then our 2s will probably end the puzzle. So now we can look at our other options. We have a 3 here. We could fill that in to get our 4 to go down. And then we're left with a lot of 2s. In this case, it doesn't look like that was a good idea. If we're looking over here, if this goes up, then this 2 is stuck. This 2 goes sideways, then this 2 is again stuck. So if we have an impossibility like this, then we know we've made a mistake. Therefore, we cannot start with the 3. What if we did something like this? And I think, oh, that looks good, but what about this guy? Stuck again. So it looks like our problem is going to be this one. That might be why they gave us a 1 here. I think what we need to do is start with our 2. We notice that we're having trouble filling in this square. But now if we do this, our 3 goes just a bit longer. Our 2s can fill in there, and now we need our 1 to fill in our trouble square. So we're going to go ahead and do the 4 so that our 1 can fill in this square, and like I said, we end with the 2s. Okay. Our biggest hex is the 4, who has 5 empty squares. Notice again, the 4 must go this way, so we know that the 3 will not go either up or down. So it must go this way, where there are 3 empty spaces, we can fill them in. That leaves our 2 with 2 empty spaces, we can fill them in. This 3 now has 3, now this 4 has 4, 2 has 2, and 3 has 3. Just like that, they all fall in line like dominoes. Okay, let's look at the bottom here. If any of these 3s go across, they can't. There's not enough squares. But this guy still needs 1. Therefore, our 2 is going to have to be the one to go across. The same thing here. The 3 cannot go across, so it will have to be the 2. But which one? So we have 1 here, we have 2 here. If I go this way with this 2, then it can't go up. Now I have a 3 here that might be able to go up, but I'm not sure yet. There's also the question of this one. Looks like this 2 will have to go down to get him. In that case, I'm going to send this 2 across. We need this guy or this guy to be filled in. Ah, but wait, I've made a mistake. No, I have not. I forgot about this one. Okay, let's look at this 3. You can't go up, can't go down, you must go like that. And it looks like I'll need him to reach here. So this 3 needs another one to reach here. This 2 needs another one to reach here. This 3 needs another one to reach here. This 3 can reach there right now. Let's go ahead and fill him in. What about this 3? Can't go that way? It can go that way, and we have 3 spaces, so we must go there. And now you'll notice we have 3 in line for this guy, 3 in line for this guy, and 2 in line for that guy. These puzzles, you want to see where do these guys need to go? How many spots do they need filled in? Alright, you know what to do. Where's our biggest number? It is 4. Who has 6? Ooh, empty spaces. What about this one? It can be filled in by this guy. Not that guy, because there's a spot right there. Well, we know this 3 must go across, but we don't know if we need him to reach here. Same thing with this one. Do we need him to reach here? Now we know this one has to be filled in with this one, because the 4 obviously cannot go to the right, and this one cannot jump empty spaces. So if this 1 needs to reach here, then these 2 have to be filled in. And for this one to be filled in, he'll need to be filled in by the 3, who will need something else filled in. So it looks like our 4 might end up starting off our reaction. Now the 3 can fill in and the 1 can fill in. Now we're left with a dilemma. This 1 will need to be filled in by this 3, so we need one of these filled in. The 1s can fill in almost anywhere, but they can't reach here. So we'll need our 3 to reach way over here. So we'll need one of them to go down. It does not matter which X you choose. I'll pick this one. This one will need to fill in there, and then our 3s can help each other out to finish the puzzle. Looks like we have a couple of bigger numbers this time. When you have a lot of these starting blocks and they're all lower numbers, placement is extremely important. In this case, you'll want to look at your edges. We have a couple up here. This 2, he's only got one way he can go, or there's only 2 empty spaces, so we'll fill him in. This 2, only one way he can go, 2 empty spaces, we'll fill him in. This 1, same thing, 1 empty space. These 2s cannot go across, so they must go down. 2 empty spaces, fill them in. This 2, he has 4 empty spaces, we'll leave him be for now. What about this guy? 3 can't go across, 2 can't go across, 3 can't go up, 2 must go up. So now it leaves us with this 3 empty spaces, fill them in. This 3, now here we see we have 2 3s and 3 empty spaces, but we don't know which one. Well, you do, it's gotta be this one. This guy, his only option is to go down, while this 3 can go across. So this one goes down, this one across. Now our 2 has 2 empty spaces, and our 3 completes the puzzle. And look, a face. I believe 6 more in the pack. A lot of smaller numbers, so placement is important. With this one is very simple to do, actually. This one needs to reach here. You'll notice, take a look at this guy. He can only be filled in by these 2 1s. So we need to fill in either this one first, or these. There's a lot of ways to do this puzzle. My favorite is a very simple way. You take these 4 numbers, and you drag them down, like so. And then you take these 3 numbers, and drag them down. And you've done it. Alright, our biggest number is a 5, where we have 8 empty spaces, so we'll save him for last. Looks like we need a couple of these 1s to go up. This 2 has only one option, to go to the right, but we don't know, we might need him to fill in here. This 2 can't go that way, can go that way, but if we do that, if we do this, then this 2 must go there, and then we blocked off this 1. So while this 2 is going to go this way, we need to do our 1 first. Let's put him there. So now we can fill in R2, fill in R1, and we'll leave this one to chip away at that 8 long straightaway. So now this 2 fills in those spaces. And again, we have the same thing. If we filled in this 3 right now, we'd completely box off this 1. So we'll put him to the right, fill in R3, fill in R1, and 5 empty spaces. All right. Ooh, a 10. I think that's the first we've seen of that. But we have 13 empty spaces here. Okay. Let's look at this side first. We know, obviously, these 10 and this 8 are going up and down. So, therefore, it needs to be who's filling in these. R3 can't. R2 can, but he needs a space. You might say, wait a second, if all of these are going across and they all need spaces, and these guys need some spaces, because this is a 13, and this is a, looks like another 13, where are these spaces coming from? Well, they're coming from the 3s. The 3s right now are the only ones who can go anywhere. You'll notice they fit in perfectly diagonally. Now our 2s still can't fill in their crevices, but our 8 also can't, but our 10 can. And now our 2s can fill in, and now our 8 can. Okay. A lot of very similar numbers. A lot of 3s, a couple of 2s. Let's take a look at our edges. This guy, only be filled in by the 3. We'll need 1 on him. This 3 can only go that way. This 3 can only go that way. These ones depend a lot on what you do first. This 3, we'll notice, can go actually 2 ways. You might say, oh, of course, there's 3 empty spaces. There's 3 there. Fill them in. But what about this 2 then? Where does he go? Does he go down and get this? Does he go... Do we need him to go get that? Very confusing. Let's mentally do some gymnastics. This 2, if we have him go down to get this one down here, who's going to get this? I'll go ahead and fill that in. Who's going to get this? So the only other option is this 3, but the 3 can't go down. So we know this 2 can't go down. Now there's certainly a couple other possibilities it can do. Looks like it has 3 other ones, but we've eliminated that. What about this 2? It could go down, it could go up, it could go a couple other different ways. What about this 3? Ah, there's our starting point, that this 3 cannot go any direction except down, where there are 3 empty spaces. So he is the first to fall. Now, let's take a look at this guy. This 3, we previously discussed, he has to go up. He'll need 1 more spot, so we'll leave him off for a moment. This 3 is going to go this way, and he is probably going to be the one to fill in this spot. But actually, now that I think about it, he's not. Look at this one again. We established the 2 can't go down because no one can fill this in. So it must mean that the 2 is going to be the one to fill this in. Then R3, then R3, then R3. And now we'll notice this 3, now he's got 1 covered, so he can go. And now the 2 goes, and the 3. Once a couple of... Okay. A 5 with 6 spaces, a 4 with 4 spaces. It's an easy fill-in. A 3 with 3 spaces, a 3 with 3 spaces. Oh, wait a second. Oh, wait. Okay. A 5 with 5 spaces, a 4 with 4 spaces, just go that way. Now you might say, oh, a 3 with 3 spaces, fill it in. But no, look at this one down here. He must be filled in by this guy, so this guy has to go down and has to fill him in. So we either need this one or this one to be filled in. Well, this one is going to be filled in by this guy, but he can't reach there yet. He has to have this one filled in. And this one is going to be filled in with this guy, but he can't reach there yet. He has to have this one filled in. So thus, we have to start with our 5, and then all the 3s help each other out, and complete. 2 more puzzles. These ones on the top, it does not matter which way you do them, just follow your mouse in a circular motion. I'll do this one clockwise. Right here, you'll start with the 3, it only has one way to go this way, and then just follow along in a circle. And you've made a smile. Last one. We have quite a number of 4s. This 4 is going to go down, this 4 is going to go down, but don't know what. It looks like our problem with this is these 4s all need a bit of a boost to reach down here and over here. This 4 needs 2, this 4 needs 2, this 4 needs 2. The 1 is going to help somewhere, might boost one of these 4s, might cover these open spaces. What we need to start with is our 2s. So we have a lot of 2s here. They're going to hop over each other and expand into this middle ground. Look at this one. This 2 can't go that way. This 2 can't go that way. This 2 must. So we need 1, but not 2 of these filled in. So I'm going to use this one. Now he goes there, and now we've already completed the top. We can go ahead and start filling down. I remember doing this, and the order is very tricky. I believe it was this way, this way, this way. Yes, because now our 4 fills in, this 4 goes here, this 4 goes here, and to finish it off, a 1. And that is it. You have successfully finished 2 packs of Orixo Hex without using any hints, though I don't know if this video counts as a hint. And thank you for watching. If I figure out how to do pack 3, you can see here the first puzzle on pack 3. If I figure out how to do it, I'll post another walkthrough. But thank you.